Meteorologist Alexis Walters in the Dick Goddard Weather Center this Wednesday. All right, we've got a hump to get over on our midweek hump. We have some rain, storms, wind, potential for hail, and even an isolated tornado possibility in there in the forecast. Really quick, I'm trying to pull you guys up on Facebook here so that if you have questions, I can answer them. But I've been having trouble seeing the comments while I'm on here for some reason. So if you do have a question that I don't answer in this video, go ahead, drop a comment. And as always, I will do my best to answer them after the video. So, because it's not coming up, shocker. All right, so let's first take a look at what's going on outside right now. If you have not been outside, it feels like a summer morning. It is in the low 70s in many areas. Humidity is high. It's fairly cloudy, which is actually pretty good news as far as any severe potential goes. Lack of sun limits that instability a bit, so that could help us out. That's not to say, oh, it's cloudy, it's not going to be stormy. Not the case at all. It just doesn't give that added extra juice that we frankly don't need. When it comes to temperatures, here's a look at the numbers. Low 70s in Mansfield, 70 in Worcester. It's already the mid 70s in Cleveland, so it will actually be the warmest day that we have since November 5th, which was 151 days ago. So just some quick facts for you. Dew points, this is how much moisture is in the atmosphere. I mentioned if you've stepped outside, you noticed very humid. Western communities in the 60s, eastern in the 50s for our dew points. So it's a little more humid in the west, and that's also where we're seeing some rain showers at the moment. Here's a look at our wind velocity currently. So our winds are about 15 to 20 miles per hour, west slightly higher. Sorry, I have the hiccups apparently. So it's already very breezy on your drive to work, or, you know, if you're heading out to lunch. Looking at satellite and radar, we are currently in the warm sector of the system. So we've got a strong southerly flow that's dragging in more moisture, more heat, and adding in more of the ingredients that we need to seize any severe potential of weather. All of this rain and storms is associated with this frontal boundary here that you see to the west, and you can tell it's pretty strong. We're in the 60s on one side, 20s and 30s on the other side. So we will see a steep drop in temperatures overnight. We'll be from about 80 to probably about 40 through early morning tomorrow. As for the line of rain and storms, here's another look at it. You can see it's pushing east of Chicago, and honestly, it's moving fairly quickly at this moment, at this time. And I mentioned yesterday likely seeing two lines of rain and storms. Well, you can see that there was two lines of rain and storms, one there ahead of the front and one associated with the front. However, the second line speeding up a bit, catching up with that first line. So it is likely that those two lines of storms will kind of just blend together. We will maybe see some breaks between the first and second round, especially as this kind of system pushes to the northeast here. But the definition between two lines of storms, not as likely today. Now this red box here, which is west of our viewing area, but it is in the Toledo area, kind of along 75 and west and north of 75. That's a tornado watch. That is in place until 4 p.m. for those communities. So not in our viewing area, but if you do any traveling, know anybody over there, just, you know, it's a heads up for you guys. And I wanted to touch again on what is a watch versus a warning. You know, if we've got the potential for severe weather, it probably won't be our last this spring. Just to brush up on this, watch is all the ingredients are there to make severe weather. A warning is severe weather is occurring at this time. That's when you need to take action. A watch just means, you know, keep an eye to the sky. And we've been talking about this system for a couple of days now. That's not to, you know, give you the idea that this is impending doom situation. Could see strong to severe storms, but we've known about this for a couple of days, giving us a better opportunity to let you know what you can expect days out. So not that we're just beating this to death, it's that we've known that, you know, the chance is there and that we probably will see a handful of severe thunderstorms. What kind of risks are we talking? Well, right now we are under an enhanced risk for severe weather. I will say they peeled back that enhanced risk in the southern portion of this state. Yesterday it was that the entire state was covered under that enhanced risk. Here at home, our viewing area, we are still all under that enhanced risk, which is a 3 on a scale of 5. And what are our biggest threats here? Well, everything's kind of on the table. We've got high winds, which will likely be the most widespread issue for people. 30 to 50 mile per hour gusts, even higher under those thunderstorms. Potential for some large hail, potential for an isolated tornado as well, and then you could also see some downpours. Another troubling thing with this system is that it will be around the time people are driving home from work. So a lot of people on the roads, which we don't like to see. It's just not ideal during a severe thunderstorm event. Here's another look at kind of the breakdown of the system. So some damaging winds possible again. And we also want to give people a nice heads up, which has been nice with this system that we've done, because we have had 2 rounds already of severe storms the last 2 weekends, that people have had power outages that have lasted days. I mean, in some cases it has been deadly. So just keeping an eye out for these thunderstorms today and giving you guys a heads up is the goal here. Looking at our Wednesday afternoon, so a few showers are still hanging around this morning. We have even had a few lightning strikes and rumbles of thunder, mainly around the islands, Sandusky area. Your lunch hour still hanging out with some rain showers, and then after that, early evening, I would say mid-afternoon really, that's when that line will begin to work its way into our western communities. So 2, 3 o'clock, could be even a little earlier, just based on how quickly that line of storms is moving. Cleveland area looking for about 4 to 5 p.m. that line pushes through. And again, not so much looking for 2 defined lines, but some scattered storms ahead of then the line of rain and storms in the evening hours. So again, this is going to be during the commute, and then as it heads further east, we're going to start to see that clearing around 8, 9 o'clock. Now we could see a few isolated showers hanging around on the back side of that system, just some lingering moisture with it late into the night. But then temperatures are going to begin to drop. Here's a look at the temperature trend over the next 24 hours. So again, this is going to be a line that goes kind of north to south. So this will be washing over us. So I know a lot of people have been saying, well, what about my neighborhood? What about this neighborhood? What about this neighborhood? The potential is there for pretty much everyone. It's not going to be a cluster of thunderstorms in the west or a cluster of thunderstorms in the east. It's going to be washing over us from west to east. Looks to be dying down a bit as it heads further east, but that doesn't mean the potential for a severe storm is not there. All right, back to temperatures here. We're going to be pushing 80. Again, the warmest day we've seen in quite some time since the early part of November, and then a steep drop to the 40s by early morning tomorrow. As for that 8-day forecast, once we get rid of the messy weather today, it's really smooth sailing until Monday. We have a nice 4-day dry stretch. Cooler on Friday for that Guardians game. I've been pretty steady with those numbers. Low 60s on Sunday. Your Easter travel looking nice and smooth. Easter egg hunts are going to go off without a hitch. And then Monday we're watching for our next chance of some showers. Next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday, we do look to catch a warm-up back into the 70s. And thankfully, this one looks to come with some quiet weather. So I think I covered everything. Again, if you guys have questions about the forecast that I did not cover, and again, just to mention again, people have asked a lot about this neighborhood versus that neighborhood. The line of storms is coming from west to east. The greatest tornado potential will be in the northwest, same with hail. That is not to say that it cannot happen in other areas. The probability is just not as high. So yeah, everyone just keep an eye to the sky. Of course, have that Fox 8 weather app handy. It'll give alerts to your phone should you run into the case that your power goes out, which of course we've seen a lot of these last couple of weeks. It'll just keep you weather aware. And meteorologist Jen Harcher will be in at noon. So you can tune into the show then as well for the latest updates as well. Take care, stay safe.